Welcome to Marsha's Plate, a Black trans-inclusive feminist podcast. A place where we know that not everybody is invited to the cookout. And we also know that every single day is a brand new day, and we have the power to make a difference today. So let's do this.
It's a new day, brand new day, make it better than yesterday. You can always find a way to turn it all around again. It's a new day, brand new day, make it better than yesterday. You can always find a way to start over again. Tuesday, when the sun rises, you can start over again. A new day, you can make it better than yesterday. It's a new day, it's a new day, new day. There's a way you can turn it around. Trust me, there's a way out. There's more time. Just don't give up. When the sun rises on a new day, you got another chance. Yeah, 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 yeah. A new day, you got another chance.
If you want to join the conversation, you can hashtag Marsha's Plate. You can follow us on most social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. Just search for Marsha's Plate, MARSHASPLATE. Y'all ready? Let's get started. Hey, what's up, y'all?
What's going on, honey?
Hey.
One of our icons have become an ancestor. I don't really be liking to say I'm devastated when somebody is like older and past. I feel like, especially such an immaculate, amazing life that Assata Shakur lived. So I don't want to say I'm devastated, but I'm a little bit saddened. But also, there's some joy that I find in it. So yeah,
Ditto.
Assata Shakur has passed.
Ditto. I know it's taboo to say that you have found some sort of joy in someone passing, but I found joy that she passed free.
Ah, yes.
Because even to this day, the Trump administration was attempting to have her extradited from Cuba, and I was also
And Cuba was like, nah, bruh, we got her. You cool.
She's good. She's from my understanding, she became quite popular and iconic in Cuba amongst the Cubans as well. But no, the Trump administration was still trying to get her extradited. I was concerned, after Fidel, after Castro, I was concerned if she would still be safe. But I'm glad that she was able to pass with her freedom and her integrity and committing one of the most, if not the most successful prison break in U.S. history, honey.
For the guys. And it's two tidbits about her life that I fucking live for. I live for the fact that when they locked her up and took her to court with her, not her partner, but it was her partner, but when they were trying to charge them together and they put them in that holding cell and they fucked and she got pregnant. Oh my God, that is such like a movie moment. The fact that y'all are enemies of the state get in charge and da 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 da. They put y'all in that room and there's so much passion that we just go get it in this fucking holding courtroom cell. I live for it. And she got pregnant from it and had her daughter. Oh my God, that was so amazing. So that was a number one. I just thought that was significant. That reminds me like would be a dope ass movie scene. And the second part is that when she was 16 and she had ran away from home, she stayed with a trans woman named Miss Shirley when she was a runaway teen. Proving once again that these trans women, trans people, trans men, everybody be in this motherfucking thing. Be in community doing what we need to do, helping, being surrogate mothers and fathers in this damn community. And I just I loved it. It made me feel good.
Yeah, I remember sharing that as a TikTok post not too long ago that one of the things, because a lot of people know that we contributed to spirituality in many cultures pre-colonization, but a lot of people don't know our ways of contributing to love. Like when mortality rates were more common for people giving birth, trans people were commonly the spouses of widows and widowers and helps people to raise their kids. But these people, in many instances, chose to have a trans partner because they feared losing another partner to childbirth.
Mm.
So just a little fun fact: we've been taking care of people, kids. It's probably in our DNA at
Mhm,
this point, honey. But
mhm.
no,
Yeah.
Assata Shakur, I definitely think her life should be made into a movie. I think she's had one of the most interesting lives I've ever read about and ever known about. Um, period.
What's about your
How
thoughts?
did y'all? No, I was gonna say, how did you first hear about Assata Shakur? So I know for myself, it's like I kind of knew a little bit. I heard her name kind of around as a kid, but it really was Common's album, like Water for Chocolate, and he had that track Assata, and that was actually one of the times where I really kind of got me more interested in learning more about her and like her autobiography and all that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, yeah.
I think the first time that I was introduced to Asada, I was a part of the ACT, the Asante's Children's Theater, when I was a teenager, and one of the acting coaches of the troupe showed me showed me her biography, and so
Mm-hmm.
gave me the book, let me read it, and let me get into the story of
Yeah.
her. And I was in my early teens, and so that was the first time I was introduced to her. And then her name kept on coming up when Tupac was kind of popular because they shared the last name and she was his godmother. So her name would kind of come up in that regards. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's my first early memories and early consciousness of Asada.
Tupac is how I first learned about Afeni and Assata
Hmm.
Shakur.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, because they're his mom and his godmom. And I've always been into history, as anybody who knows my brands. I've always been very into history, Black history, music history, all that stuff. But for a long time, I used to get Assata Shakur and Angela Davis mixed up. I used to think
Mm.
that Angela Davis was the one in Cuba that they were trying to extradite, and yeah, but yeah, I learned more specifics about her story. Like many people, when she passed, that's when I decided to really dig, and that's when I just learning about the autobiography, which
Mm.
apparently is a book I should have been had in my library. But no, I researched her on my own, being the historian that I am, and I haven't read the whole autobiography, but I know the most popular parts, and that alone just gives me chills at her legacy. I definitely will be making a video for to inform the folks.
And
Yeah.
it's two things I want to kind of ask y'all. Um, One is me being petty, so I'm gonna save that for later. Um, this one. So now we know that she was quote unquote exiled to Cuba, and because the federal government was trying to get her, she couldn't really leave Cuba, which feels like kind of like a prison in itself. You can't really explore the world like that without them trying to get you. How do y'all feel about that? Yes, she wasn't locked up in America, but she was stuck in fucking Cuba away from her people. Does How do y'all feel about that? Feel kind of like a prison too? Not prison like literal prison, but it still feels like a
Mm-hmm.
cage. But at least it's a cage on why for me why I can reconcile it is at least it's a cage on my own terms. Like I chose to get the fuck up out of here and go here. So how do y'all feel about that? Like it being just another prison, or what are y'all thoughts on it?
Ooh, it's hard for me to say because I've never visited Cuba. But I imagine being confined to Maryland, and I would definitely feel caged if I couldn't get out to Philly to see my people, if I couldn't get to New York to see my people, if I couldn't get to Atlanta to see my people. However, if
Mhm.
I was on the FBI's most wanted list and all I
Mhm.
had to do was stay in Maryland to be free, honey, my ass would be locked and loaded here in Maryland. If you want me, you better come and see me. You better catch a flight on BWI, bitch.
Mhm.
Period.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it, it'll be some limitations. I think I would feel some sadness and some more, you know what I'm saying, some grief around that for sure. Um, but it's a lot of diversity in Cuba. Shit, like, it's a lot to learn. So
Yeah.
it's like,
But that
you
goes
know,
back to what I said last
mhm.
week, where I felt like while I would want to leave, I feel like there should be some positive in leaving if I had to go get asylum somewhere. But being disconnected from my culture would feel kind of weird, even if I'm in a diverse place. It just I don't know. It would feel kind of weird for me. So I would. That's
But
what
you
I
still
thought about.
Africa, it's still in the diaspora though, being in Cuba,
Yeah,
right? It's like
yeah.
it's just this boat is here, or they didn't put
But
people
you
back
know how
on
different
the continent.
Caribbean. You know
Yeah,
how
well,
Caribbean
different Caribbean.
culture, language
yeah.
barriers, all of the stuff that was going on
When you think about
at,
like
at one
music and
point
stuff, there's a lot
where
of
U.S. citizens weren't allowed to visit Cuba and vice versa. I don't know if that's still a thing or not.
it's still a
Um,
thing. There's still an
but
embargo. There's still an embargo on Cuba.
well,
People go.
shit, I guess it really
Yeah.
depends on how much money you got because Jay-Z and Beyonce was just in Cuba not too long ago. But
True.
yeah, no, I consider all of those factors, and I'm sure it would be hard, but again, hey, we know that they would have tortured her
Yeah.
in the
Right.
prison system here.
Let
I
me.
want to
Okay.
ask.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, no,
No,
I
no.
can
I
do
was
that.
about to go to the petty part. Go. What was you about to bring?
No, no, no. I was just gonna highlight a couple things about her for folks who may not know. Um, Assata Shakur, she was like as everybody's mentioned, given political asylum in Cuba in 1979 after escaping from a prison. She was a part of the Black Panthers and the Black Liberation Army. Um, and she was caught in a gunfight in New Jersey at a traffic stop. And this is in 1973. This white officer was killed. And so that's a big part of why they're like, she's a cop killer and all this kind of shit. That's a part of the vitriol that's
The
behind
rhetoric. They also try to
blaming.
shame us for celebrating her because they have labeled her a
Right.
cop killer. And I'm glad you brought that
It's,
up, Jay, because I
mhm,
think they really should look at that cop's partner because Asada, the medical evidence proved that she had her hands up, both hands up when she was shot, and
mhm.
one of those shots was actually in the back. So, I think they should really look into the other people who were on the scene if they're really concerned about getting justice because we know that COINTELPRO, they set up a lot of our Black activists to be murdered.
So
Yes. Yeah. Oh,
you want us to finish?
yeah. Just last couple things. In 1977, that's when she was found guilty, and she escaped from prison in 1979. Members of the Black Liberation Army posed as visitors. They stormed the correctional facility for women and took two guards hostage and commandeered a prison van to break out Shakur, and she disappeared, eventually showing up in Cuba in 1984. And so from Cuba, she was able to write and, send, still communicate outside to the outside world. To your point, Diamond, like she couldn't leave, but she still was able to communicate. And for a lot of folks who were involved with a lot of different protests and Black Lives Matter protests or Black Youth Project, a lot of people heard people talking about it is our duty to fight for our freedom, it's our duty to win. We must love and protect one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains, or rather, actually it is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. That's from her Assata, an autobiography that was published in 1988. So that's where that comes from, and that's real. And that was a sacrifice. Everybody involved in that.
So we're venerating our good sister Assata Shakur, and now imagine. Now this is me being petty. Imagine. Did y'all watch Queen and Slim? Because this is so bad.
I saw it once and only once. I was like, I saw it once. I was like,
imagine if Lena Waithe. Imagine if Lena Waithe allowed Queen and Slim to escape and go to Cuba
and meet Assata
Shakur on film. What a dope ass cinematic moment that would have been.
Lena dropped the ball with that one. I don't know if it was some white men who was in the producing, honey, who was handing out coins, and they was like, "No, kill them niggas in the end."
It was a beautiful film, right? It was a beautiful film. I thought
the end.
It was like, oh, what is this? What is it? Oh,
Jordan Peele got a whole white wife. And he knew that he had to revise the end of Get Out. He knew that the nigga wasn't going to jail in the end, honey. The nigga wasn't going to die in the end of that movie, honey.
And so I felt like that would have been a perfect ending, not only for the culture. And right now, Lena, I have been watching her do these online interviews with these Black icons in the culture, and that is Lena's vein to showcase these Black icons. And I'm like, yo, how for your film, how dope would it be if you would have done that? She would, right at this moment, would be in her death venerated in cinema, in film, in Hollywood. I would have loved that. I don't know why it just was right there, but she made the decision. She said that's what she wanted. So it wasn't like they wanted her to do it. She literally was adamant about saying that this is what I wanted to happen. And so I was like,
she should have read the room. It was even at the time that was the wrong moment. We was watching George Floyd get killed in real life by the police. Like, girl, no, wrong.
Mm-hmm. Watching that and being like, oh, I got more facial hair. That could be me. Ooh, there's some shit to really process and think about. Wow, I need some support.
Exactly. So
you talk about being petty, honey. I'm just wondering why you giving Assata Shakur so much life, because the people say you don't like cisgender women.
Well, let's get into that. Before we get it, anybody who is listening to us, if you fuck with Assata Shakur, let us know why. When were you introduced to her? Just like Jay asked, when were you introduced to her and her legacy? And yeah, let us know if you think Lena should have let them survive and go to motherfucking Cuba at the end of Queen and Slim. Anyway, hashtag Marsha's Plate.
Honey, that's hashtag MARSHASPLATE.
Oh my God, I want to thank all of our new patrons this week. Thank you. Yay. So not only are you helping to sustain this particular podcast, I also donate to other podcasts. I donate to other organizations. I have my finger on the pulse of the community, and I know a lot of grassroots organizations that are doing great work out here. So you're not only helping to sustain us, you're helping to sustain other people in a community, because I put my money where my mouth is. That's just the kind of bitch I am. Community as fuck. So thank you. I really, really appreciate you. And if you have not become a patron, why have you not? You can donate as low as $1 a month. It doesn't matter. Anything helps. Please. Do I have to play Sarah McLachlan and show you puppies? Like, what do I have to do? Do I have to resort to what the white people do to get you to give them money? Alrighty. Anyway, thank y'all. And the Patreon and PayPal link is at the bottom. Back to the show.
Girl, they say you don't like cisgender women's bitch. I ain't even gonna ask Jay if he done seen the set because I know he don't know what the hell is going on, honey. And I'm gonna keep it 100 with the audience,
I
honey.
don't.
Diamond wasn't even going to talk about this shit. Diamond wasn't even going to bring up Hope's rant. But I know a lot of y'all listening want to know what we think. I know I personally want to know what Diamond thinks. And at the end of the day, in the live stream, this podcast was brought up. And the image of this podcast does matter because all three of us have real intentions. Yeah, everybody who know the tea, Hope went on a rant. It started with her and India Moore going back and forth, and somehow when Hope did her emotional live stream, her angry live stream, honey, Raquel Willis caught a stray, Summer Walker caught a stray, and none other than our own Diamond Stylz catch many strays along with the podcast Marsha's Plate. But the only thing she really said about Marsha's Plate was that she listens. And of course she listens because anybody who matters listens. Baby, don't you be left out of the conversation, honey. But I'm curious. I don't think we have to go into all the specifics of
Oh, we
things.
we have to. If we're gonna talk about it, I'm going into specifics.
All right, well, let me break down the specific. Um, she accused Diamond of not being a fan of Black people as a whole, not being a fan of cisgender women. She accused Diamond of being miserable and insecure,
And old,
and
a old hating bitch.
a old hating bitch. Diamond is mad because there are Hope Giselles who have come and surpassed her and all of this ranting and raving. To me, honestly, hearing it as somebody who works with Diamond, anybody who knows my voice, if I got something to say about a motherfucker, I'ma say it. Honey, y'all done seen me turn down sponsorships and campaigns and lose campaigns and sponsorships because the motherfuckers that I was working with wasn't right. I didn't know, and I stand on this. I stand on my word. I ain't never seen Diamond do no fuck shit. I've been around Diamond long enough. I've been working with Diamond long enough, and I've said it many times. She was the first person to actually offer me money for my voice online, even before
Mhm.
TikTok, before YouTube, and any of that. She didn't know me from a can of fucking paint. You know what I mean? So I definitely don't get the impression that Diamond is concerned about girls surpassing her. I've got the impression, and Diamond has even said it herself, that she has a niche audience and she's carved out her lane. She know who she is and she know who her people is and she know what they want to hear and she don't find it necessary to conform to be popular. That's the impression that I've gotten. And as far as Hope Giselle, people have asked me about Hope before, and I'll say again what I've said before. I don't know her. I don't know her to have an opinion of her. I only know what I see online. I've never met her in person since doing since being a talking head online. The only girls that I met in person is Diamond and T.S. Madison. So I really can't. I don't have an opinion of the lady. I hear other people's opinions, and I get the impression that sometimes my audience wants me to have an opinion because I do hear people say behind the scenes that she think that they think. I hear people behind the scenes say that they believe that Hope is cocky. I also hear people say that they believe that Hope is conceited in the sense that she feels like she's better than a lot of trans girls because she has a Black husband. That's the way other people feel. Like I said, I don't know that lady. I don't, and until I know her, I won't have any opinion. But in my experience with Diamond, I didn't find the things that she said. I haven't found the things that she said true. But my real concern and question is, how do you feel about it, Diamond?
I've said it before. I don't think Black women should be humble. I don't think black people should be humble. I don't think, but particularly black women, since we're talking about a black woman. I don't think they should be humble. If you are out here doing your thing, I think that it is a part of patriarchal control. I think that it is a part of dimming women's light when and white supremacy when people try to force you to be fucking humble. If you out here and you a bad bitch and you're doing shit that is impactful to the community, you and whatever it is, whatever your lane is, not just in activism, not just in whatever your lane is, you out here being a bad bitch in your career, in your life, be proud of yourself. And you don't need to be humble and not talk about it. Boost yourself up because in this world, the default is to belittle us. Belittle us, period. The default is to tell us we ain't shit. The default is to criminalize us. The default is to try to claim that we domestic terrorists, claim that we are the problem, i.e., Assata Shakur, i.e., what's happening with trans people. All these things, the default to this fucking country and this culture is to demonize black people, black women, black trans people. So if you out here doing good work, doing amazing work, I don't need you to be humble. Don't want you to be humble. Let people know what the fuck you are doing and be proud of it. Wear it on your chest. No, you don't need to be humble. So if Hope feels that she's out here doing the work and impactful in community, then she has the right to be proud. And I don't need her to be humble. Talk your shit. Do your thing. The problem I have with Hope is I think it's not real. I think it's she's it's hyperbole. It's being grandiose in a space that it does not apply. I don't think she's as impactful as she thinks she is. So I don't want her to not be humble if that's what you do. She don't impact my life, so I don't see what she's done that is much different than other people around her, just on a mediocre level. So I don't know. That's my first thoughts. My ego, my younger self, my immature self, and my ego wants to read Hope because you and I both know you a scammer. You and I both know that because you're chasing clout, when people hold you accountable, when your community comes at you to call you in because you are an immature little girl on the inside, you like me. And remember, I'm not India. I'm not the girls that you think, oh, just because you can say something calm, but I think that's what you said. You black. You've been black for 6 years now, so I don't really have access to your content, the full scope of your content. I get little when you talk about me, people send me clips. And so I don't get the full context of what you talk about. So I don't know. But one little portion you said that you weren't talking about me, but you were talking about somebody. They talk in a way that because they talk softly and don't get loud and don't get yelled at because they didn't have a mother who yelled at you and cussed you out. So when they express themselves, they don't talk loud and ghetto or da 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 like you. That don't make you better than me, bitch. I think that was the gist of what you were saying. Because of your upbringing, you express yourself the same. Bitch, my upbringing is hood too, bitch. I got a mama that yelled at me. And so I know the turn up. I know the feeling of turn up. And I also know the feeling of the discomfort of when somebody called you in. I've been called in before years ago. I'm old, remember? I'm old. So it's lessons that I learned in my ego that when I said something wrong, 12 years ago when I was making health reads, I was reading somebody about their health inappropriately, and my community called me out about. And even though it wasn't in malice, me and my gay son was going back and forth reading each other about health reads because we were joking and playing about it. to me, because I felt like I was in the right, and my ego had me in my mind like, oh my God, I'm in the right, and defensive. And my childish self wanted to lash out. And because I want to see my growth. It's still up. If you want to go see that video, see me in the comments foolish, trying to defend my bad action and being called in about it, because I shouldn't be reading people's health in this day and age, and the stigma around HIV. I was wrong, but in the moment, I felt like, oh my God, ugh, why are you not getting the context of what I'm saying? Why are you I'm not reading anybody. This is my friend. My insides was not mature enough for me to check my motherfucking self. And that is what's happening with you. You do wrong shit. Behind the scenes, you are an evil, conniving, weirdo bitch behind niggas. We saw it. And the problem with you is that you try to, when people start calling you out, you try to um, admit it and say, I know how to hold myself accountable, but then you lash out at everybody else. That's what it was. And just like why I call you T.S. Umar Hope Giselle Johnson is because just like Umar, there is shit that he says that he's right. A broke clock is right 2 times a day. There's some shit that he says is right. But then when he gets into certain bags, you're wrong. When he talks about homophobia, when he's in his misogynistic bag, you're fucking wrong and you're gonna be called out about it. You, darling, when we had our break, when I was done with you 6 years ago and blocked you, when you said that I was just jealous of you, when me, Angelica, and Brianna tried to call you in about how you were pandering to cisgender women on the grapevine, they done took it down so we can't go back and look at it, but you were fucking pandering. You know you were. And when we were caught, your old aunties, even though Brianna's your age, your old aunties, Angelica and me, was trying to call you in softly. We wasn't reading you. Tried to call you in softly. You said that we was trying to be you. So that let me know that your whole past, when you were being a Candace Owens coon back in the day, you admitted, the clip I saw, you admitted, I was young and I evolved. Can't we all evolve? Yes. I remember when you was young, being all lives matter, and you were literally the TS Candace Owens. I remember that. And I saw that you had evolved a little bit. And so I didn't feel like the need to block you then. But once I see that you actually haven't evolved, you behind the scenes being shady to sex workers behind a man, you are you center men in your life. I'm not a man hater, baby. I'm just not a pick me. And that's what you are. And so that is something that you got to work on yourself. You got to get your ego in check, baby. Everybody is not hating on you. Everybody don't want to be you. Everybody is not glamored or enchanted by you being articulate. Some people are. Some people are like, oh, I like Hope and what Hope had to say. And da 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 da. You're amazing in that regards. People are going to love you for that. But you got some shit to work on, babe. You got some stuff to work on. You, from my perspective, you are a scammer. There's multiple incidents of you being a scammer and not right. I can't fuck with you because I don't think you have any integrity. And when you get caught, like when you got caught stealing stealing the social media, when you got fired from a job, doing stuff like that and then trying to spin it to make it seem like it's okay, that is a window into your integrity. And I know some people, when you try to explain it away, some people are going to believe you because you got to get the gab. You got to get the gab. You like a preacher who got caught molesting people, and now you talking the right talk to convince the audience that you wasn't doing nothing wrong. what you should have done instead of lashing out on all the girls and because I really didn't have anything to do with the situation between you and India. And I know somebody came in the comments or something and that sparked you to be ready to read me. Cool, good. I've been there when I was young. I get it. You was like, oh, I got heat for everybody. That's cool. That's cool. But what you should have done was you should have doubled down on your point that you were trying to make. India is a privileged, light skinned, I think is she's Dominican. I don't know what she is, something exotic thing, trans woman. And so the public is going to be a little bit more sensitive to her. That's how colorism works. You can't get around it. You should have just doubled down on that and talked about that. But the problem is you your shady shit that you did in the past with her triggered her because she felt like she graced you and you were being shady in the comments, even though you, in that particular point, you were right. Remember, T.S. Umar, Hope, Giselle, Johnson, you were right in that particular incident. But because of all the wrongness you had done to her behind the scenes and she had graced you, when she sees you being shady and trying to undermine her point, especially somebody who thinks I'm just trying to make a point of how hard it is for trans people out here and I'm crying about it, just like you were sensitive and you were crying about the situation you was, maybe that wasn't the right time. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But because of all the shady shit you had done behind the scenes to her, it triggered her too. And she's a child too. And so instead of just letting it go, you have two perfect storms coming together, both of y'all being childish behind some internet bullshit. And it has now exploded, and now we arguing over some bullshit. All the shady shit you did in the past that I hold myself accountable for allowed this to blow up, set the stage for this all to be flammable. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it sets the environment for it to explode instead of being a mature discussion about colorism, a mature discussion about transphobia. You, because of what you have done in the past to people and said, and people trying to call you in about stuff, you have made this environment flammable. And I'm talking to you. I think that the situation with India too, it makes her flammable too. The stuff that she had going on where she was allowing Malcolm to use her social media to go and spy and stalk his rape victims after his restorative justice journey. Because of her being weird behind that shit, she created that past weirdo shit that you know that she I can't say that she ever atoned for. I don't really know, but because of that past weirdo shit, it makes a toxic environment that becomes flammable. And when y'all both come together in a community that's thirsty for bloodshed, call these bitches out, call these bitches out, whether it be jealousy, whether it be colorism, whether it be whatever this concoction, they're just ready and thirsty for it. Everybody chasing clout, chasing, ooh, want to get that hot take. Y'all have created y'all past bullshit has created an environment that's flammable and combustible. And this is where we land. We land with you lashing out on people. Grow up. Yeah, that's how I feel about you. You are a person who is uncomfortable with being called out and you don't have any integrity to me in the way you move behind the scenes. When you get caught, you come back and try to spin it like a Republican. You you come back and try to make it something that is not. I was going through her messages. You got caught. You got caught going through her stuff. You didn't stop at the computer and say, oh, this is not my computer. I'm not going to go through her messages. You went through her messages and you got caught doing it. And when you got caught, then you owned up to it and confessed and all that kind of stuff. That's what happened. So your actions behind the scenes were wrong. And then instead of accepting it and say, damn, I was wrong, you come and now you want to attack everybody because you get called out because you were being messy in the comments. You're a messy girl, messy in the comments, and now everybody else is a problem except for you. Okay. Everybody, no, everybody wants to be you. Okay, darling. Cool. I mean, yeah. Let me be very specific. I don't even want to talk about hearsay. I want to talk about what I experienced with Hope directly. Me, why I, Diamond Stylz, thinks that she's not thinks, knows that she's a scammer because I was involved with the situation. So she was brought on at BTAC. This is either 2017 or 2018 to be a keynote. The year before, I was the keynote. And traditionally, whoever was the keynote the year before at BTAC introduces the keynote, the current year keynote. That's what we had always done for multiple years. So I was the keynote the year before, and so I am introducing Hope. Now, mind you, there was a history that was that coon history that she had. So even in my introduction to Hope, I said, I'm so glad that she has evolved because when I first met this young lady, she was doing all this kind of crazy coon stuff. But now I see that she has evolved, even acknowledging that she has shifted her language to be more grifty. But cool, maybe she had evolved. Now I'm seeing that she probably just didn't. But anyway, that night, after the keynote was done, blah, 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 I am on a team that's running a conference. So we need to take our ass to sleep because we got to get up in the morning to start the new day of the conference. So I took my ass to sleep. I get a text message from Hope at 4:30 a.m. in the morning. And she is telling me about a girl who needs housing. Not housing like she's homeless, but she need a place to stay for the conference. And I'm like, yo, in my brain, I'm like, why you didn't tell me about this girl needing a place to stay while we have been up all day? Why do you wait till I go to sleep to to tell me that somebody needs a place to stay? Because I didn't get the message in time because it's 4:30 in the morning. I'm fucking sleep. So by the time I get the message, it's 7 a.m. And from what I'm to understand, she's been staying in the lobby of the hotel for the whole night because she don't have no place to stay. So when I get up, I try to find out who the girl was, and some of the girls who were down there, who knew the situation, got me in contact with her, and I she had already switched her airline ticket to go back home. So instead of staying in the lobby, she stayed there for a little bit till late night, and then she got her flight switched to in the morning. So from that point, I'm thinking that this girl just didn't have a place to stay. So I text Hope back. Hope doesn't respond. She doesn't respond. So what I found out when I end up contacting the girl, now mind you, I had a room myself that she could have stayed in. So she would have been taken care of because I'm like the hospitality person and I would have taken care of her. You're not about to be a trans person come into BTAC during this time and not be taken care of. We're gonna find a place. If we got to get you in the hospitality suite, sleeping on the couch, wherever we got to figure out to get you accommodation, we're gonna figure it out. That's how we were at the time. So that's just what it was. So I'm not with them no more. I want to make that clear. I didn't understand why it wasn't brought to me earlier, but now I do. What happened was Hope, this little girl, this trans girl who came, bought her ticket to come here, she was promised for her accommodations to be taken care of. She won some kind of contest that Hope fundraised for. She fundraised money to get people to come to see her do the keynote. So she was like, "All right, I'm gonna be at BTAC and I'm fundraising so that I can somebody can win the contest and I take care of your room." She fundraised and didn't pay for the girls' accommodations. She thought that we wouldn't know about all of this, which we didn't, but we wouldn't find out about all of this. And she thought that she was going to be able to pocket the money, not take care of the girls' accommodations, and we would take care of the girls' accommodations. Which which her scam would have worked out because the way she sold it to me in the text, if she had texted me earlier in the evening, she made it seem like this is just a random person that couldn't afford to take care of her room. And so as a community ass bitch and a community ass organization that we were, we would have taken care of her. So we thought she was just some girl that came to be a part of the trans conference, trans girl. Cool. We take care of you, baby. Come on. She would have got away with it. I feel like Scooby Doo. She would have got away with it if it wasn't for those pesky trannies. So yeah, she raised funds for the accommodation for these girls and pocketed the money. And the girl ended up going home and not being able to enjoy the rest of the conference because she didn't have nowhere to stay. When you intentionally do shady stuff to raise money and then don't do what you say you was going to do, don't take care of people that you say that you was going to take care of, to me, by my definition, and I hope yours, that is scamming. To me. So this is a direct incident where you were money scamming for that I was involved in. This is not hearsay. This is not what I hear. What did you do with the money that you raised for the little boy? I don't know what you did with the money. I'm not involved in that. But that's a question. That's hearsay because I'm not involved. So blah, 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 blah. What did you do with Lex Newman? What did you do with anything that I've heard that you've done when it comes to the social media? Da, 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 da. All this is hearsay because I'm not directly. I know people who are involved in it, but I'm not involved in it. So I don't know. It's still hearsay. So I'm telling this story because this is a directly involved story that pertains to me. So I know you're a scammer from my experience with you. And I only graced you then because I wanted to give you a chance to explain yourself, but you never responded back to me because you knew you were scamming. You never responded back to my text messages when I was asking you about what is going on with this? Why didn't you tell me that this girl didn't have a place to stay earlier? Why did you wait till 4:30 a.m. to tell me? She never responded. So to me, you knew what the fuck you was doing. You a scammer. And that is my history of situations with her that she scammed. That's how I feel she's a scammer. From my own personal experience, not hearsay. I just at this point in time, I think that this is a character flaw that you actually are not working on. And I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. And I'm not going to change it. It has to be you. And I'm going to still be Diamond, still going to be doing what I do, still in my lane, comfortably doing what I need to do, um, having a good time without being entertained by the shenanigans of Hope. I like the good Hope, but not whatever Hope you are. So that's my thoughts about Hope Giselle. That's my thoughts about the whole situation. I listen, I am fine. Hope doesn't have any impact on me. She doesn't have any, you know, she doesn't have any power. She doesn't hold any power. She doesn't affect my life in that way. So I'm okay. Who y'all should be checking on? Check on the girls who are out here, the talking heads who are out here actually like doing stuff. Like look at um Amar Jones. I'm sure that the right wing nut jobs got her inbox in shambles. Care about her. Don't think that Diamond is bad or doing bad because of Hope, child. Hope been a clown. She's been a grift, and that's what I think about her. And I don't want to be arguing with a black trans woman behind some bullshit. Like we can go back and forth about some serious shit, but about a bullshit, this bullshit about some messages about India Moore, who also done some weird stuff in the past with Malcolm. I don't want to be in the middle of that bullshit. That is no significance in that to me. So leave me out of your bullshit. Especially if I'm beneath you. Leave me out. Like I said, you've been blocked for years. You still listening to me from your admission. You still listen to me. I don't listen to your podcast. I don't engage with people I don't fuck with. So I don't listen to anything you got going on until you say something about me and people send me what you say. So grow the fuck up. Grow up. Like, don't let your ego talk. Let it go. That's all I got for you, baby. And I'm only talking about you now because I have graced you for so long. And so here we go.
And
do you think?
you still wasn't going to talk about her if I didn't say that I wanted this as my topic.
Could I ask, like, what do you think could be done to like remedy this situation to you?
Oh, it don't need to be remedied. She ain't gonna do nothing. First of all, she ain't gonna do nothing to me. Number one,
Well, no, I know that.
physicality.
I'm just saying, like,
But
theoretically, I guess, like,
But we don't.
moments
I
like
don't
at
need
least.
to be friends with everybody. I just really don't. I don't need to be
Yeah,
friends with everybody. So our personalities don't match, and so it does nothing need to be reconciled. I can be in rooms with her and not speak to her. I have been in rooms with her and not spoke a word to her because that's how I am. I don't sit and talk to people that I don't like. I don't like her, so I don't sit in rooms and act like I like her. So have we been in rooms together? Absolutely. Dominique had a party in New Orleans during Create and Change, and she invited us all there. That was the first time I had been in a room with Hope in a long time since the BTAC situations or since the Trans Visibility March. So I have been in spaces with her, but it's like I don't care about she doesn't have any impact on me. So it doesn't need to be like it's nothing that needs to be reconciled. We just not friends. We don't like each other. And I don't have to like every bitch in the community. It's two bitches in the community that I know for sure that I don't fuck with them too. And Hope is one. And I don't want to mention the other one. But she know who she is. She blocked too. And so I don't need to be friends with them. I'm cool with everybody else. So yeah, that's how I think about it. It's just nothing to we don't need to fix it. It's not broke. We just not cool.
And that's and that makes complete sense to me. Everybody ain't got to be your friend, but everybody ain't got to be your enemy neither. You can coexist. And yeah, I honestly think like that's the way that we should do it. And I need to take my own advice, and that's why I do talk less about the mess that goes on in ballroom. And that's why I've started to talk less about mess in general because I want to be an example of what I know is right. And I know that right now, especially, is not the time to be going against members in your own community. But I don't think there's ever a good time to be publicly going against members in your own community, unless, of course, is for healing or growing. Um, but yeah, those are my thoughts. And any final thoughts?
My final thought is stop letting these bitches grift you and selling you a dream about them that's not real. It's just she's not real. She's not a real motherfucker. She fake. Stop sending your money to these motherfuckers. That's just what it is. She has been grifting for a long time. So let that go. Watch how motherfuckers move. That's just what it is. I don't fuck with Hope. Hope don't fuck with me. The end of that. That's just what it is. And Hope, since you informed me that you listen, welcome. We're glad that you are listening to our program and enjoying our show for as long as you have. I appreciate you for giving us our little listens. And hope you learned something, learned about integrity, learned about how to move in community. And it's funny that you think I hate cis women and you listen to the show because you should know that I love my folks. And so yeah, anyway, but That's all I got to say. Get your life. Keep opening up these doors for yourself. Keep doing your thing. However you doing it.
And on that note, honey, let us know what you think about this whole fiasco that's going on. Let me know what y'all think about India and Hope going back and forth. Let me know what y'all think about Hope supporting and viewing the podcast. Let me know what y'all think about what she had to say about Diamond, honey. And we all know that y'all heard Diamond read. Um, and make sure you hashtag Marsha's plate in the process. That's hashtag MARSHASPLATE. And honey, y'all know I'm messy, but I do genuinely love all y'all girls, and I'm praying and hoping for the day where conversations like this will not be happening publicly amongst us.
That bitch got a lot to say, bitch. I listen to the podcast, Hope. I listen to the podcast. You be speaking or whatever. Diamond, you should be every motherfucking where.
New episodes every week.
So let's do this.
Bam. All right. So let's talk about some good millennial shit. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna start with some bullshit and then I'm gonna end with some good stuff. Did y'all know that in Oklahoma they are forcing the teachers to teach the Bible to the kiddies?
Girl, ain't we been here already?
Yeah, but we here again. So
Yeah,
Oklahoma public school teachers are required to teach the Bible to their students. But in the legislation, in the ruling, they made the type of Bible very, very specific. And the only people, like, it had to have a certain binding, it had to have a certain letter type, it had to have a certain things in it, it had to have the copy of the Pledge of Allegiance, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights. I had to have all this Americana within the Bible. And guess who owns a Bible that only fits that description?
So it's only one person who makes a Bible that fits the description that they specified.
Uh-huh.
Bitch, you better not say it's your
the
president,
March.
Donald Trump.
Yes, it's your president, Donald Trump.
Not your
How
president.
how could I have guessed? MAGA has found another way to incorporate himself and make money off of his presidency.
Absolutely. The narrow pool of Bibles that narrows down to that description is Donald Trump and Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA Bible. And the Oklahoma government spent $55,000 to buy the books from him and give them to the students to study and read because it is a part of their curriculum. So that's a gag in itself. But the gag
Yeah,
is,
I'm gagging.
mhm, the gag is that the version of the Constitution that is in that Bible, notably, is an incorrect version that still features the 3/5 compromise.
The 3/5 compromise when they were saying that we was only 3/5 of a human.
Absolutely. A
Can
vested.
you explain the three-fifths compromise, Diamond?
Absolutely. So during the shenanigans of the late 1700s, around like 1780s, somewhere 1780, 79, 1790s, there was a constitutional convention, and this compromise determined that for both taxation and representation purposes, that only 3/5 of the enslaved population would be counted. The southern states fucked with this because it gave them more political power, like in regards to representation, but not taxation. And the northern states, they generally oppose like both of that shit. But it was like a temporary fix that acknowledged the existence of slavery without granting enslaved individuals the right to citizenship. It's like, we want to give them a little bit of representation, but we don't want to give them actual citizenship because Oh my God, the niggas will take over the South because that's where they mostly live, child. Ooh, Lord.
Yeah, because the slaves themselves couldn't vote, but those slaves counted as people or counted in the numbers toward the slave master's vote.
Yes, the slave master vote. So
Well,
this,
the total population,
yes,
you know, so like, yeah, it's like, and down south, especially, like black people outnumber white people
right.
oftentimes, you know, so it's like they felt like, yeah, like we're talking about,
It
like, yeah,
it
so
it
that was another thing
literally
to
handed more political power to slave owning states. That's literally what it did.
exactly. Um, kind of
So this constitution that they're teaching within these special Bibles, this constitution that they're teaching is from that era. It omits the 13th Amendment, which officially abolished slavery. So literally, they're learning a a constitution that still implements slavery.
It's confusing me because y'all didn't want to learn about slavery. Y'all made it so that slavery and the true American history would never be in the public school curricula.
No, and so none of the amendments that happened after that time, think about the 19th Amendment, think about the 14th Amendment, think about all the things that happened after that, it is not in the Constitution that they are learning. Isn't that shit fucking crazy?
Baby, it ain't crazy if you paying the
it's
fuck attention. It's fitting right into the motherfucking program. It's seamless as an invisible stitch, bitch.
uh nothing's new under the sun. They talked about having the 10 Commandments in school for a long time, off and on. They've been working towards this. Jerry Falwell and all those right wing folks from back in the day, Heritage. They've been working towards this inch by inch by inch by inch to get it to be official through the federal government, or like the federal government won't step in to be like, this is wrong, rather.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so white people going white. You know what I'm saying? White culture is a problem. Thank God not all white people in it. Uh, Unfortunately, some of us are in it. Got to push back because that don't even make sense. But yeah, hopefully, you know, some black parents and other parents are providing an alternative to whatever they're getting at school anyway.
Which we have
Uh,
had to do.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm sure for all of us, in some way, formal or informal, we were getting the education that we weren't getting at school. So, hopefully, that's happening for a lot of them children out there in Oklahoma, because that is wild.
This is my feelings about this is exactly why I went on the rant that I went on last week, and I don't encourage my people to stay here, and I don't encourage my people to fight for this country because they're really just setting themselves up to continue destroying themselves.
Well,
They setting up their younger generation. They set like they're determined to, they know that they're going extinct, especially in this country, and well, in this country first. And they plan on going out with a bang.
I
And I
mean,
just don't want my people getting caught in the
look,
crossfire.
I'm just saying a big part of propaganda is to make you think you already lost when you got plenty of power left. And so we have plenty of power left. And that's something that is something I think we have to keep in mind. And also what it means to push
That's
back.
true.
And it does require sacrifice. It's not going to be comfortable. We can't move like fucking white people. And folks that felt like they want to move fucking like white people and don't want to be fucking inconvenienced ever, like, that's not how this shit works. That's not how change happens. You
You're
might
right.
have to take a L, take a sacrifice, be inconvenienced to push the powers that be. A lot of people didn't think, just for a little example, with Target. We stopped going to fucking Target. Like, it's possible to fucking inconvenience yourself a little bit for all of us, right? To do something different, to kind of put some pressure on people that we're trying to put pressure on with our money, because black people spend the fucking most money, and with our votes that we still have. Like, period. And like,
Yeah,
not everybody gonna be able to fucking lead. So it's like, okay, so what it means for me personally, in terms of like, I love black people, I center black people. I'm gonna do what I can for us that's here. even if I'm like, I want to go, you know what I'm saying? Because not everybody gonna go. Like, I'm sure black people, you know what I'm saying? African people, displaced African people in this settler colony forever have been like, listen, I would love for us to just go home. You know what I'm saying? But
No,
like,
And
I
some
get
people
it.
did. Some
you
people
know what I'm
did go
saying?
to
But
Liberia.
it's not feasible for
Yeah,
everybody. Is the
I get
point.
what you're saying,
That's,
Jay.
you
We
know what I'm saying? And
definitely
so
have
that's the
power.
reality.
Not just we definitely have power, like you said. And I don't want to weaken my people, but I want to preserve my people. I guess I should say. And not just with Target, but even with Disney losing that what $4 billion in a weekend behind Jimmy Kimmel, that scared the fuck out of them. Those
But
those
I
those
guess what I'm saying, oh, my bad.
those weren't conservative white people who canceled their motherfucking subscriptions to Disney. You know what I mean? So the power is still here, but I understand my people. I understand my people wanting to fight, and I'm not blaming or looking down on anybody regardless of the decision you made. I understand why some of my ancestors stayed in the South, and I understand why a lot of them fled for the North. I understand why a lot of them fled Mexico and Canada as well.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
wait. You want to say something else about that before I
Not,
go to the good news?
yeah, real quick. Like, one of the anyway, I was listening to this situation over the weekend, and one of the things that somebody said was, if you want a different society, you're not going to be able to avoid the responsibility of pitching in to build it yourself. We cannot reinforce the hopeless circumstances that prevent solutions, and then say you're trying to move forward towards solutions. We can't reinforce the hopeless circumstances that prevent solutions and also say we're trying to move towards solutions. And it's like, what is a solution? What is, you know what I'm saying? What we doing to, it's, you know what I mean? Because we are in a culture of like right now that's just like about talking about shit. And it's like that don't change, like a mention don't ain't action. Like that's not action, that's not enough action to make the change we trying to talk about. Like it's gonna require like on a personal level, voting in every fucking election. Check out Ballotopia, figure out what the fuck is going on. Because that local shit is how you end up with the shit we talking about right now. That shit starts off with little local battles of we don't want these books at our school like because you didn't vote in the fucking school board election. You didn't vote for superintendent. We pissed that now it's a felony to do some random ass shit as a black person. We got motherfucking vagrancy laws, excuse my language, basically vagrancy laws in fucking Louisiana when black people make up like 20 some 30% of the fucking state of Louisiana. And so some of that is because the people in Louisiana, like you said, Bree, the people that couldn't let leave were still there. So I don't know what it's like. My parents don't know what it's like to grow up on that level of violence when black people just trying to fucking vote because they were baby boomers who were born and raised up north. Like there's some real like psychological shit that I can accept as a black person who grew up north to when I say why ain't they voting in the same way, it's because the reality in the history is very different than the last 50, 60 years up north. Some of that is just bad on some real shit. The trauma, the bullshit, the violence that they've been dealing with. Because when you talk about people leaving, you talk about brain drain too. You talk about people with resources, people with money, and it happens with gentrification too. When people leave, the people that bounce are the people that a lot of time have the means to bounce. Which means also oftentimes that's the business people, the professionals, the people that have some infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that.
I ain't going
I'm
to
just saying.
enable.
I'm gonna keep in
I ain't
mind.
going. I ain't going.
I don't mean to
I
get
ain't
too
going
deep.
to. I ain't going
I'm
to.
just
I
saying,
ain't
like,
never going to enable
this
motherfuckers.
is forever.
I ain't never going to
Forever.
enable motherfuckers into thinking that they can't. I'm not a I can't kind of bitch. Being somebody who is legally on paper disabled, somebody who can and has collected disability benefits, somebody who is poor. You know what I mean? I'm never going to tell people they can't. You can. Our ancestors got the fuck up out of here when it was necessary. You can. And I also think it's necessary for us to remind people that we're not blaming you for rolling out. I'm somebody who's trained to help people improve their quality of life. I'm somebody who's trained to help people preserve their quality of life. If you want to fight and be uncomfortable, some of us are meant to do it. You know what I mean? But we not blaming y'all who not. We not blaming y'all who rolling out, honey. And if all the broke trannies I know can go on tour, honey, If all the um if all the poor trannies I know can make a way to do all the stuff that we make a way to do, you can make a way to get the fuck up out of here if you really want to. But I know a lot of us do feel guilty, and a lot of us do feel like it's necessary to stay and fight. And I'm just here to tell the folks it ain't necessary for everybody, because you always gonna have your fighters.
Okay, so I had to go get some things at the Walmart. It's not Target, still boycotting. So I go to the Walmart. I'm going in and I see like a sign. This black woman at the sign. It looked like she might have been selling like cookies or some shit, But it was like, "Are you scamming?" Because it was written in permanent marker, on a whiteboard. And so when I came out, I get closer and it's like, sign this petition to ban boys from playing in girl sports. And I was like, the fuck? I didn't say the fuck to her, but I was like, excuse me, like what is this? What is this? I kind of played kind of ignorant, and she's like, oh, it's not right to have the kid. And I was like, what are you saying? Like, where is that happening? I don't know about any boys playing in girl sports. Oh, you're mad because like trans girls who are children are playing in girl sports. Like, that's weird to target children. And so we get to talk, she getting all defensive and shit. And I'm like, well, listen, like I give her a whole, I'm like, this is fucked up, this transphobic, all that shit. But then I also said to her, like, I need you to understand, like, the people that are doing this are not doing it for the same reason you're doing it. They're doing it because they don't want to fucking have they worry about not having enough white babies. They worry about this shit becoming majority people of color. That's what this shit's about. Then they come in for you too. So all they gonna do is use it. This is about coming for black people, blah, 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 blah. Now the dude that's with her at first is like, oh, you gotta push back. But then I see his head starting to like put it together as I'm like this don't even you out here like these people yelling at the fucking Little Rock Nine, yelling at kids. You talking about children. You ain't got no fucking humanity. You know what I'm saying? The brother sitting there like, oh, he's like, this, you doing the bidding of these white people. And I just see the head, you know what I'm saying? And at one point, the guy that's with her goes, oh, he goes, yeah. I was like, you see what I'm saying? He's like, yeah. So it just was really an interesting moment. It was some more, I had some notes, but I don't have them right now. But like, it just was a really interesting moment that I felt safe enough to engage in. You get what I'm saying? And so I was like, let me use my privilege in this moment that I feel safe enough to engage in as a trans person who's being read as cis fucking assumed. Also, I'm in Washington State, just outside of Seattle, so I'm in a place that I know is extra fucking blue, you know. And it just was interesting. We kind of went back and forth, then, she tried to be whatever. It just was, just explaining like this don't even make, first of all, this is factual, this is fucked up, this is transphobic, this fucking mean as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you doing cruel ass shit and targeting fucking kids. And like just watching them start to like put it together was really interesting to see. And I'm glad, even though I know it didn't make all the change, but I'm glad that at least, I kind of ended like, yo, I know we don't agree on this shit, but I need you just like, you are doing the work for these white people, and just really understand that, like, you really are setting your children up for like Jim Crow. You're setting your children up. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, just the fact that, just think about this, the fact that, anyway, some of the other people with her were starting to acknowledge that the shit was fucked up, acknowledge that it's cruel, acknowledge that it's, you know what I'm saying, mean, fucking all the vitriol and shit, targeting fucking children over some shit you don't even fucking understand. It was cool to see, like, him be like, oh yeah, that is fucked up. Yeah, that these white people worried about this shit being majority. They worried about not being majority white. That's why they go after abortion and trans folk, because they worried about white people, white trans kids not having kids. They ain't worried about black trans people not having no fucking kids. They worried about white trans people not having no fucking white kids.
The good news for older millennials and younger millennials, the good news, I want to bring some positivity. So, Reading Rainbow is returning with all new episodes. I loved Reading Rainbow growing up. It was something that literally the data shows that it led to higher literacy rates. LeVar Burton's groundbreaking hosting.
I'm scared to get excited, bitch. Reading Rainbow is one of my favorite things in the world, even the nostalgia of it, honey. Hearing it, seeing the butterflies in the sky. Like I'm scared to get excited though, because is this going to be on PragerU? Is this going to be on PBS? Like what's going on?
No, 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 no. It is coming back and it is hosted by y'all remember that guy that recently went not like a couple of years back went viral, the librarian, the guy, the kind of quirky guy with the afro?
Yeah, Michael.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is gonna be the new host of Reading Rainbow.
It's going to be a real Reading Rainbow with a nigga.
Yes. Another nigga.
Yes.
So Michael Treats is the new host. Now if you don't know what Reading Rainbow is, I know some of y'all young people might not know because our audience leans younger. Uh, it was a children's show promoting reading and literacy that's aired in 1983 to 2006, and it was hosted by the amazing LeVar Burton. It had the dope ass fucking one of my favorite theme songs, "Butterflies in the Sky." I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in our book. It's Reading Rainbow. Yes, my favorite. Treats is a natural fit. Like if you know Treats, like Michael is like this dope ass. He's quirky. He's exactly what I would expect from a librarian. He's just happy go lucky and just loving and very like a black version of Mr. Rogers. It's just like, oh my God, I'm just so excited about this. And I'm not even a kid. But the fact that they are rebooting this and having new episodes, I am so excited about because in contrast to that bullshit that's happening in Oklahoma, I know that the new Reading Rainbow is going to be more inclusive because that is the legacy of that show.
Ooh, I'm excited, honey. I'm going to be watching, bitch, just like I'm hooked on phonics, girl. I'm going to be tuned.
Period.
I'm going to be tuned in like one of the illiterate girls, honey, knowing that I know how to read the book back and forth. I'm still going to be getting there, honey, for the
You
nostalgia
said
of it. And
okay.
and not just that, honey. I'm a big ass kid anyway. I still watch child programming anyway.
You said it's gonna be on what platform?
Is PBS still a thing, or did they cancel PBS?
Well, it depends on your state. It depends on
It depends on your
how
state.
how much the funding looks like. Before all this happened,
I think it's still on PBS. Yes.
oh sweet.
Yeah.
Since I moved to Seattle, the name of the PBS changed to Cascade PBS. So now it's all programming for Oregon, Washington State, and a part of British Columbia. So they did that they did that like 5 years ago, like before the shit. Just probably really just preparing for it.
Oh, and it's gonna have its own YouTube channel too.
Okay, be right back. This water.
Oh, take a look. It's in a book, The Reading Rainbow.
Reading
Yeah,
Rainbow.
The Reading Rainbow. Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all didn't know my singing voice is really deep, honey. Yeah, bitch, I'm damn near a baritone, honey.
So I just thought I wanted to end my topic on that positive note. Reading Rainbow is coming back for the children, and I'm so excited because that it always brought me joy when I was younger. And so yeah, let us know what y'all think about the foolishness that's going on in Oklahoma, and also let us know what you think about Reading Rainbow coming back to TV and for your kids to watch. I love that. Hashtag Marsha's Plate.
Y'all already know it, but I'm gonna spell it out again. Hashtag MARSHASPLATE.
Gimme euphoria, more than peace of mind. It's the joy and space to change the tide. Gimme euphoria, more than peace of mind. It's the joy and space to change the tide. Gimme it's a feeling and a high you never come down from. Whoa.
What is bringing y'all Euphoria this week?
Oh,
I'll go first since Jay is over there. Owen, I'll let Jay figure out what's bringing him Euphoria.
all right.
Baby, this past weekend, we wrapped up shooting for Perceptions, the web series that I'm gonna cameo on this next season. Um, for all of y'all who know, you know, the Alicia J production. It was fun. Speaking of people assigned female at birth and representation, I believe that I'm the first cast member no, I'm the first trans femme cast member. But there is one other cast member who was assigned male at birth who will be debuting in this season as well. So that's bringing me Euphoria. You know, we did a photo shoot yesterday. It was beautiful. I did my last scene with the main character, Jade. I have so much fun acting. It wasn't a comedic role. I love to do comedic acting the best because it's just fun. And I'm a student of the method. So if I play a more dramatic role, it can be triggering for me because I am one of those people that I really go there. Um, so yeah, so that's bringing me Euphoria. And I'm being very cautious with my words. But as of right now, I'm not smoking tobacco. I have not smoked tobacco in this whole weekend. Wow, I stopped counting the days. I am transitioning into vaping. I told y'all that I'm leaving, I'm moving. I told y'all I had so much to share with y'all about my current living situation that I haven't been completely transparent about. But long story short, black molds and smoking don't mix.
Wow.
Yeah, black mold and smoking tobacco and smoking marijuana don't mix for a healthy lung and throat. I'm sure a lot of y'all have been hearing how I've been losing my voice. So I'm overall smoking less, but I am transitioning right now through vaping. I do feel healthier. I can breathe a lot better already. Um, and yeah, it's bringing me euphoria that us nicotine addicts have these less harmful options to fight our addiction and our cravings. So yeah, what's bringing you euphoria, Jay?
Euphoria. A couple things. One, I brought up that podcast, um, Stealth, and they recently had Kyler Broadus, who's an attorney. He's been doing a lot of work for a long time. It was really cool to hear his story now as he's gotten older, um, and and also just hear some other stories because like it just was really cool because a lot of, like I said, like their focus is kind of on folks who transition prior to 2000, 2010, 2005, like 2005ish. I started my social transition in 2007. It just was a very fucking different landscape, a very different world. Visibility looked very fucking different, and the reason they have a show so these stories don't get lost, because we do get kind of lost in the sauce just because life, you know what I'm saying, in terms of just like life. So it was really nice to hear that. I heard his story and then another story, someone, this black gay dude in Portland, um, who does like Paralympics and some other stuff. So that was pretty cool. So that was bringing me euphoria. Yeah, it was affirming. It's good to be affirmed. It's good to, black trans people, black trans masculine people, black trans men. You are enough. You are, do your thing. Excuse my glasses. You are everything. Do not forget that. Don't let nobody play in your fucking face. Okay. Period. Because we love us. We love black trans people. Period. Including y'all, including me, including us. All right. But yeah, that's bringing me euphoria this week.
What about you, Diamond, honey? What's euphoric going on over there?
I am enjoying 90s actresses, 90s cultural Hollywood contributions from movies to TV shows. I'm really having some nostalgia moment because of two things. Lena Waithe, we just was talking about her with the Assata situation. Lena Waithe has a Hillman graduate where she is interviewing so many of the icons of TV, Black icons in TV, Loretta Devine, um, Debbie Allen, um, um, just a tons of people. Robert Townsend, just so many people that kind of made an impact in like the 80s and the 90s when it comes to content about Black people when it was, really niche for them to kind of do that. And these interviews have been amazing. She has been hitting it out the park with just getting some nuances and just the history of, how people. Robert Townsend talked about how he hired Natalie, the girl who played opposite Holly Berry in Baps, and how he picked her even though she had never been in the movie, and why he picked her. Like he found her because of Faison Love. And just Lena just has been killing it, just releasing, just the interviews have just been given so much tea. She recently did one with Leela Rashawn, and it's just dope. So that, but also another podcast that's been really tickling my funny bone. Sinclair and Max from Living Single, aka Kim Coles and Erica Alexander, are hosting
Love that.
a
Love that.
rewind of their rewatching Living Single, and they're breaking down the each episode and talking about how it relates to
That
their
sounds
life
fun.
and how it relates to current events. And so they be keeping me cracking up because they're so funny. They be making jokes and doing funny ass shit. And yeah, it's called the Reliving Single
Mm-hmm.
podcast, and it is just a joy to watch, and it gives me nostalgia. They just did the episode. Remember when we had to vote to see which one of the girls that
We're going to go on a
Chestnut,
date with Morris
Morris
Chestnut.
Chestnut, and it was either Queen Latifah, Max, Khadijah, Max, or Regine, and they had to kind of compete. They just rewatched that one. It was so funny and so good, and yeah, it was just I loved it. It was dope. So if y'all have not watched that, make sure y'all watch that because if especially somebody who grew up off of like 90s shows and sitcoms and shit like that.
Mm.
It Living Single, not it Living Color too, but Living Single was just a dope ass film and just a iconic in its time, and so it crossed boundaries and it has been bringing me euphoria. So yeah, all the 90s actresses that Lena Waithe is interviewing and
Actresses, you
reliving.
mean cis women? You mean you feeling nostalgic on cis women?
I am, I can't help but to love them, unfortunately. Despite the popular belief.
Girl, honey, only a fool believes that you don't love cis women in the same way that you love yourself and in the way that you still love the legacy of your mother.
Amen. So yeah, that's my euphoria. Let us know what's bringing y'all euphoria this week. And yes, honor your people, love your people, even the motherfuckers that you don't like. Sometimes you gotta read them, but shit, they need love too, because we all out here, and whether it's me, Hope, Angelica, Janet Mock, these motherfuckers don't want us to be in their bathroom. These motherfuckers want us to be terrorists. These motherfuckers is gonna wear us out. And yes, we can read each other, but we know who the fucking real enemy is. So yeah, check it. Thanks for listening. All right, y'all. I will see y'all. Bye.
All right, love y'all. Bye.
Love y'all.
The best way to support is to engage with the content. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Another way to support, if you got a couple of dollars, become a patron. And if you can't do any of that, you can at least follow us on social media, where you'll get our random hot takes and just us sharing all the people and things that we love that is Black, trans, queer, centered. Yeah, come check us out.
The time has come for you to be the change you want them to be, yeah. No more running around filled with all hypocrisy, yeah. It starts from the inside, it spreads wide, and everything will be alright. Just know that it will be alright. It will be alright. It will be alright.